Are you racist? You may think that racism is a thing of the past, but is it? For instance, while viewing people of other races, do you ever think to yourself, they all look the same? If you do, you are not alone because this is an occurrence called the cross-race effect, where we have difficulty recognizing and processing faces and facial expressions of members of a race other than our own. However, this can be reversed with exposure to other ethnic groups. A study showed that immigrant Asian students at an American university showed a decreased cross-race effect after being around Americans for only a short time period. A lot of us know what racism outwardly looks like, but what really goes on in the brain? Before we see what racism looks like in the brain, let's meet the McLeods. The McLeods are a typical American family, but they're going to help explain how our brain works in racial interactions. Here's Jack.
Ooh, high score!
Jack, how many times have I told you Fruit Ninja is not homework? I need you to do your homework before dinner. I need you to start now.
You see, Jack oftentimes gets in trouble. His mom has a standard for him to do his homework, but Jack sometimes has an initial negative response and disobeys. But his sister is always quick to catch him when he disobeys their mom's standards.
Jack, Mommy said to be doing your homework. Fine, I'm fine, Mom. Mommy!
Now his sister will communicate with his mom, explaining how Jack is being disobedient.
Homework. Not doing his homework. What's he doing?
He's playing video games.
Video games. I left him 5 minutes ago with a load of homework.
Well, he's not doing it.
Oh, I'm going to get on that board right now.
And then Jack is disciplined by his mom.
Listen to me. I told you to do your homework. Now I expect you to go do it now.
So, what does this have to do with the brain? Glad you asked. Well, Jack played the role of the amygdala in the brain during racial interactions. The amygdala is involved with fear conditioning and our emotional response to things. Whenever we see other race faces, this region is overactivated and has an initial negative response like Jack did by disobeying his mom. Jack's sister played the role of the anterior cingulate cortex. This part of the brain is activated in racial interactions because it recognizes there is a conflict between the amygdala's negative response and social norms. So, the anterior cingulate cortex will then communicate with the dorsolateral prefrontal cortex. This part of the brain acts as the mom and will then regulate the amygdala's activity by suppressing the negative response. This is just as Jack's mom disciplined his disobedient behavior. This picture explains the collaboration of all the different brain regions in racial interactions. The amygdala has the initial negative emotional response while viewing other race faces. The anterior cingulate cortex notices the conflict of the emotional response and social norms. The anterior cingulate cortex then communicates with the dorsolateral prefrontal cortex, which then regulates the amygdala. If you would like to learn more about neuroscience and race, go check out my Wikipedia article about it.